Will it fire? Or will it catch on fire? Let's find out. I'm getting on this wiring here. Fabbed up a quick mount for the ECU in the glove box. I'm gonna have to modify the actual plastic box, but I mean, I don't really use it anyways. Just trying to figure out where I want to mount the little screen. I could maybe mount a bracket over here. I mean, I don't use the speedometer anyways. I don't know. Eventually I'd like to get the Pro Dash maybe or something like that, but for right now I just need to run it in here. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think I should mount it where the speedometer goes, or should I build a little bracket? What would you guys do? Really open to some ideas, so let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, so I got some of the wiring in on the Holley Terminator. I built just a little bulkhead here for the harness to go through into the cab there. Again, this is all kind of temporary, which is silly, but I just want to get the thing on the road. I'm going to use truck manifolds for now just because of the space. I have the ECU mounted in behind the glove box on the dash for now. I'm not gonna be able to use the glove box, which is okay until I can make a better mount for it, but everything's ran for the most part. I still got to do the driver's side manifold. I'm just, I don't have the flanges for the exhaust, so getting close, starting to get the fluids in it. Got the manifolds on, still got to cut out some flanges and get those exhaust pieces made. Radiators in, it's out of a Ford Mustang, like a 60 something, dare I say. I bought it for the Dakota. I wasn't going to use it, and then I decided I might as well use it. It looks a little small, but it should work. Everything's in. Still got to build a charge harness because the Holley ECU doesn't have any of that, so you got to build a separate harness to make that work. I believe you get to use an older voltage regulator. Fuel lines are in, going over to the older, or the fuel pressure regulator that I had in the old setup. I am going to get a fuel pressure sensor, but I'm just trying not to spend any more money right now, so gonna get it running with what I can, as cheap as I can for now. Get everything I have running and moving around, so I'm not dragging around dead vehicles all the time. And then I'm gonna pick one and work on it. So going to put some coolant in it now, and oil filter, a couple of wires yet, and then I might be able to crank it over and see what happens. It's still a ways away, but we got the front clip on, so there's a little more space in the garage. This is the power steering setup, just the billet reservoir. Yeah, we will keep chugging along. Evidence of Braden not spilling. Spoke too soon. The determination, the concentration. He did it. Still got a whole other jug though.
Ah.
So Braden is notoriously good at making messes once in a while. He's getting better.
I've never made a mess.
Neither have I. We've all made messes. But it seemed like for a bit there, every time he worked on something, the mess was substantial. So now it's just an endless joke. Can he do it? Oh.
The pressure, the suspense, the drama.
The dude's a pro. So this is the first time, even though this engine's been in multiple vehicles in this garage, it's the first time it's got coolant in the coolant system, so, and power steering fluid. It's had oil in it. No pressure, 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 no pressure. This is easy though, because you don't have to like stop mid-pour. You're able to use the whole jug braid. It's cheating.
Yeah, but I gotta use the other jug now. It's almost there though.
We can probably leave it for now. We are getting closer to firing up this truck. Most of the wiring is complete. I just reused the old bulkhead here that I had with the 5.2 Magnum and the fuse box because everything was kind of already set in there. Power steering's hooked up, cooling system's hooked up. I don't have a throttle cable figured out yet because I will have to build a bracket, but this vent hose is in the way. I'm not running a fuel pressure sensor yet. I don't have a charge system in yet either. So I'm really not that close to being done. But the fuel system's ran. All the wiring is done. I still got to do the exhaust. I got to cut out some flanges for the manifolds so that I can run the O2. I'm probably going to be doing a big no-no here, but I want to... All the wiring is basically done under the dash, so I am going to put power to the ECU and turn the key on and see if anything lights on fire or starts to smoke or anything like that. So I am going to, I think, get a piece made for the dash to sit in here because I don't use it, not going to be using that speedometer. This is the moment of truth. First time turning the key on with the ECU. Oh boy. Perform TPS auto set before startup. All right. So, because I don't have a throttle pedal, this is probably a bad idea. That's right, it hits that, so it can't open all the way. Come on, use your muscles. I don't know. Probably should have read first. Cool. All right. I don't feel the fuel pump, so that's maybe something that I had to set up. All right, well, I'm gonna get into this thing and set some things up and then we'll try and fire it. Wow. I might need that little thing.
The stylus.
Yeah. Well, I ran through it, gave it a couple parameters, injectors, and ignition coils and stuff like that. Fuel pump is now running. Will it fire? Or will it catch on fire? Let's find out. That is exciting. That is exciting. That is exciting. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
That's exciting. Now I should maybe actually finish this up and make it look okay and then pull it out of the garage and work on something else because I probably won't finish this until I get more parts. But holy heckin' yeah. All right. I will continue doing some wiring and then maybe have this thing out of the garage this weekend. Probably not, but I'm sure going to try. Well, we heard it run. So we got to do some exhaust flanges so I can get the exhaust put on there. This is what I come up with. This is on Fusion 360. I am still learning this program. It's extremely fun, actually. Definitely a lot for me to take in and a lot to learn, but super cool. This is what I come up with on the fire control here with the Langmuir Systems table. It's on dry run right now. So we are going to try and cut out some flanges. Still getting the table set up and stuff, so it might not be perfect, but let's give it a try here. Alright, so like I said, still setting it up. I started it and had the speed set way too fast, so it wasn't cutting. So we slowing that down, and we are going to try it again here. Alright, so that's fresh off the table. Cleaned up the slag a little bit. Still gotta set this thing up. It's not cutting perfect circles. It's got, when it transitions from, I guess, one direction to the other, it has like a dead spot. So it's cutting a weird flat spot on each side. And then the little circles are really off. So I'll have to address that. That's what I'm kind of after here. Something like that. Get by until I build headers. Since I didn't have the flanges, just had to make it work, so it's cool to have tools.
I don't know. I got the one side out. This thing's dumb. I don't like it.
But I do. So just getting a little bit of wiring cleaned up on the truck. I don't know why I'd never bought these before. I've always been just heat shrinking and stuff like that, and I just regret it now. I'd highly recommend investing in some WeatherPack crimpers, and these are like Amazon, like $40 or something like that. It's relatively cheap and just way better to do. Like, this is awesome. Like, it literally now will just plug in instead of having a bunch of heat shrinks and electrical tape and ugly wiring. Now, I say ugly wiring, this is gonna stay ugly because I don't really care right now. But like moving forward, I'm definitely gonna be doing, you know, way more WeatherPack stuff, and maybe even get into some fancier, higher end stuff, especially for this truck. But yeah, that is just so much nicer to use. So I would recommend getting some. Well, it's that time. Got some really ghetto exhaust going on under up here. Because, you know, why not? That's what I'm doing best right now. I'm doing this on the cheap. I just want to get everything running and driving. And get everything out of the garage. And then pick one and work on it. So I have exhaust far enough back to run a wideband sensor for the Holley ECU. Ran into a little bit of an issue because this is a 2010 Challenger 6.1. And the alternator is driven by a pulse width modulation in the factory ECU. It's a positive pulse width. I believe there is a way to set it up with the Holley. Guys are using like a solid state relay. They're kind of expensive though. So there is a company that sells a one wire kit. So I'm probably going to order that. So right now I can't, it's not charging. But this will be the first time it fires up and runs for a while. So I might even take it off the jack stands here. I was going to drive it around, but I don't think that's going to happen tonight. We'll see, because I have to bleed the brakes and I don't have any brake fluid conveniently. So It's starting to learn now. I'm gonna have to do a different throttle bracket. This one's a little flimsy and kind of ugly, but it's kind of what I can come up with quickly. The fan is currently on. It's wired into the factory relay box out of the Magnum swap. Thing is running nice and smooth. It's a Dodge Dakota cold air intake. Just using scrap pile parts to get this thing on the road. Unfortunately, I won't be able to drive it tonight, but maybe if I'm off work tomorrow, I can take her for a little boot. It's starting to learn, but I don't know if that fan is going to be enough to cool this thing. But getting close, and then we'll move on to the next project. So much power it spins on ice. The real unit sitting over there. I'm only gonna go like up to the back. There you have it. It moves under its own power. It is 6-1 swap. Until I get the parts for the charging system and stuff, it'll be parked. We're gonna move on to the Dakota for now. And